Good afternoon, traders. It's AJ. Hi, is Secret Sauce sort of open webinar today? Just want to talk for 15-20 minutes of your time. I know you're all busy and we're all trading right now. It's kind of market's grinding right now, so this is kind of a good time. Boeing looks like it's trying to break out, head towards 189, 190. So if I was to take a trade right now, I'd probably be Boeing. SPY's holding up. I think Boeing looks like it just wants to kind of break out, take out the high of the day. So today we opened up the market pretty flat. As you can see, that SPY level was coming down. That is the spelling of. Yeah. Well, we won't say anything. Listen, traders. One of the biggest. So anyway, before I begin, if I was to play anything while I'm talking, I'd probably play Boeing. Maybe 100 shares, 200, 150 shares, risk a point, and if it breaks out over here, you're going to have some consolidation, then a push to 189. Also, look at VNet. Looks like it wants to come up a little bit while I'm on break. While I'm talking. If that breaks out through 2140, look to take out the 22. Evoke is going to come down even a little bit more. So that should come down to my $3.25 per my notes. ALGT should take out high of the day while I'm talking to you. So if you're still in that, enjoy that one. Take out the 114. Splunk is grinding out. Royal Caribbean grinding out. United Airlines grinding out. Okay, good. Hey, listen, this morning, when I woke up, from Monday, the market was flat. Now, to a lot of you, and even when I was younger, when I was growing up, and also I got a lot of emails over the weekend, I think in DMs, a lot of DMs about my son and I just wanted to say thank you. Let me see if I have pictures of us. I'm sure I do. This is me and my son Sebastian when he was younger. I don't know who that good-looking guy is. I don't know who he is, but I think it's his dad, AJ. I want to say thank you. Got a lot of compliments. I spent the day with my son yesterday, as you all know, and he came over, and I had In-N-Out hamburgers. So he brought me 2 of them, and now I'm back on my diet for 15 days. But I had 2 doubles and 2 fries with tons of salt. He even brought me a chocolate shake. Oh, I was in heaven for 15 minutes, and then it was gone. And after that, I felt so guilty. Hey, I felt so guilty. So I guess I have to wait till next Father's Day, next year. So anyway, listen, a couple things I want you to just kind of be aware of is just avoiding losses. Avoiding losses, and we can avoid losses in many, many different ways in short ways, different stocks, different plays. Most important, I think, that I find that is the hardest thing for a day trader, honestly, is being disciplined. There's so many day traders out there, so many chat rooms, everybody preaches, I can do this, I can teach you this, I can show you the holy grail, I can take you to millionaire status. Everybody's got a secret, and all these secrets, there's an agenda. What's the agenda? Get your sub fee. After they get your sub fee and sell you a couple webinars, they don't really care if you get it or not, okay? They don't care if you're disciplined or not. Man, they got you. They nailed you. They got that webinar here, webinar there, this one, this disc for that, this disc for that, how to wake up in the morning, how to make coffee in the morning, how to do a short, how to do a long, 17 videos to tell you, yet the guy who running the room can't even tell you to go long or short on a stock. And that's the reality out there. Everyone's out for your dollar. And there's some rooms out there that once they find out you have 5, 10, 20 grand, they don't want you to trade. No. That's the least. That's the absolute. Let me tell you something. 99.99.9% of the chat rooms out there do not want you to trade. They don't. They want your money. They want it all. They want to take it. You know why they want to get it from you? Because they're afraid you're going to lose it. So they might as well get it from you first before you start trading and lose it. And that's why they do what they do. Lifetime memberships. Um, lifetime membership. What if, no offense, what if you die tomorrow? So you paid $12,000 for one day in the room. Uh, Anybody think about that? I mean, when somebody says lifetime memberships, I mean, my first response is, are you guaranteed to live forever? Are you taking a pill I don't know about? Where did that come from? What is lifetime? What if you get sick? What if you fall down? What if you get in a car accident? Do I get a refund? Oh no, those are non-refundable. So what's lifetime? And in my world, I'm already reluctant to, people ask me, can I do a 5 year or a 10 year? No, no. I want the most you to do is 2 years on a one-time plan. That way I can really evaluate if you're excelling, if you're getting good, if you're doing well. Apple to use own chips for Macs moving away from Intel. Oof. I'm sure that's old news, but if that's breaking news, I would think Intel would be dropping on that. It did before, so looks like it. Apple to use own chips for Macs moving away from Intel. Be careful on that. Wow. Apple's unveiling the i14 phone. Stock is up there. It's going crazy. Apple touts new privacy features in Safari update. That's awesome. Good, 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 good. We need more privacy when it comes to that stuff. Apple needs a sleep tracking app for watch. I don't know about that. I don't need somebody to track me while I sleep. I want to be left alone. Anyway, one of the things that's really, really important is that, hold on. Is the fact that you got to be really disciplined. I mean, I can't stress it enough. You really have to, when you make your trade and you hit your goal, you have to just say, um, you just have to say to yourself, you know, you have to say to yourself, like, okay, I hit my goal, I'm done. The rest of the day, I'm going to study. All right, I'm going to learn. I'm going to practice more. All right, every day. Every day. Is it pushing? I'm trying to get to 189 while I'm talking, Raphael. So I told everyone long at 186.50. So if it goes 189, everybody can make 2.5 points or $250 on 100 shares while I'm talking. I like it when you make money when I'm talking. Hence why when I started the webinar, I said to long Boeing and just take it up to 189. See? So if you did what I told you when I started talking, you'd be already up 2.5 points, almost 3 points. It's not too bad. 2 points at least. Anyway, I want you to do is just, you got to be really disciplined. You got to learn to walk away. And one of the other things you got to do is learn, honestly, you know, when a trade is going against you, okay, I, I, I think more importantly, more than anything, is just there's a couple things you have to ask yourself when it's going against you. Let's just take for instance, a Royal Caribbean. Okay, all right. Let's just say that you wanted to go long stock right around here at 54, and you wanted to break out. It wasn't breaking out. At what point do you cut it off? At what point do you say, okay, it's not working? I'll reverse it and short it. Looks like it's coming down. The other question is, um, are you starting out the position? Let's just say right here, you're long at 53.61 market order. Are you full size? Are you 3/4 size? Are you half size? Are you quarter size? Are you 8 size? Now, think about that for a second. Everyone's size is different. What Noel trades and what AJ trades, I don't trade what Noel trades on his size. What Ray trades, I don't trade what he same day trades what sees. Raphael trades what he sees on his particular trades. Darkside and Jenny, they have different sizes. All right. So what is full size, quarter size, 3/4 size? Nobody knows. right? Because everyone has their thing. What if your full size is 500 shares? So what's a quarter of that? 100, right? So when you start 125 shares. So when you start a position, you say, I'm going to start quarter size, you start with 125 shares. All right. You don't go in any trade, no trade at all. No trade. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a guaranteed, I am going to get a house with this. Don't full size. You got to tell yourself, I can live another day. I can trade another day. I get to trade another week. I get to trade another month. Don't full size. There are so many trades that I wish I could think in hindsight, man, I wish I could have took 8,000 shares. Man, I could have wished I took 10,000 shares. Man, I wish I could have took 15,000 shares. Man, I wish I should have loaded 3,000 shares on that and get 4 points. Everybody wishes that. But when you look at what you traded and you say, you know what, I made $680 on that trade. I made $1,000 on that trade. I made 1,100. I made 900 bucks on Boeing. Is there anything wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that? I just want to know. Do you find that depleting, depressing? Huh? You beat everyone. You won. You beat the trade. You were right. Live for another day. Take those profits, pay some bills, pay your gas bill, electricity, maybe health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, maybe that's the time to say, look, I'm consistent every day. I'll get health insurance. I have health insurance. I'm with Blue Shield. I got to pay 820 a month. You know, so that Boeing trade took care of my health insurance, right? So you know, you have, just don't look at it. Well, I really need to make. The minute you start to say words like "I really need to make," you're already in trouble. You're already in trouble. The minute you wake up and say, "I need to make," I used to do that when I was a young kid. I was in my 40s, late 39s, 40s, early 40s. I used to do that. I need to get up and make this because at the end of the day, you'll never make it. You'll never make it. How many times have you got up and said to yourself, I need to make 1,200 a day, and then by the time you're done, you made 400 bucks, or you took a loss? Do you know why? Because you put too much pressure on yourself to succeed, and you can't do that. You can't do that. Don't put pressure on yourself. You'll never be successful day trading if you pressure yourself to do something that you haven't normally done. Okay? Now, let's just say you came in the room and Boeing pulled, let's say we were shorting Boeing, right? All right, so Boeing was a good call this morning along with Royal Caribbean, right? So what we wanted on Royal was small pop and then a fade. All right, so let's just go back to these two scenarios, okay? So let's just say, let's go Nevada, because that was a really good one. All right, so let's just say, now, I knew in the morning that Novak was going to sell off at least 3 points. So I kind of wanted to do 1,000 shares. Honestly, it's only 6 to 7,000 buying power, and I was willing to risk 1 point because I knew that I could spend the rest of the day making. I'm already thinking when I get into my loss in my mind, in my mental mind. I know I'm right, but what is the most I'm willing to lose? And then I have to spend the rest of the day getting back my money. Well, so to me, I wanted to trade Boeing because Boeing's been rewarding me lately when I trade 300 shares. And between 300 and 350 shares. So I really enjoy that stock because if it pulls, I can really get in there because Boeing has a habit of yanking quick and then bouncing. And when it bounces, I can go in there with 200 shares, 250 shares, 300 shares, and just take it up. At the same token, if I'm going to short Navac, in the back of my mind, I really want that. I could be one and done, but let's live another day. I kind of said to myself, you know. So you know, going in to Navak with 500 shares, yank, 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 go back in there, 300 shares, yank, 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 you're done. I mean, it doesn't take much to make your money. So, for me, Do you consider 400 shares, 500 shares full position? I mean, what's full position to people? 2,000 shares? 1,000 shares? To me, in my world, full position on most stocks is 1,000 shares. Half position is 500. Quarter position is 250. Three quarters is 700 shares. 600, 700 shares. When I go in a trade, I don't want to. I gotta tell myself, if you lose a point, that's 600 bucks. That's 500 bucks. That's 400. Can you make that for? Yes, I can. If it's not working, I can cut it and reverse it. So let's just take an instance. I knew Novak was going to short. All right, I knew. I know this chart. I know the stock. I know it very well. There was no upgrades on it. It was just gapping up, and the market was flat. That gave me every clear indication that Novak was going to pull. Stock is everywhere. You can short it everywhere on any platform, even if you have no money, hardly any money. So it was just a matter of you easing in. Now, the art of scaling in. What is the scaling in? Okay, let's just say I did kind of want 1,000 shares or 500 shares, but I ended up with 300 or 400. I started, and it starts to yank. Okay, I'm not adding to my position. I'm leaving it alone, because if you think about it, if you're doing 350, 400 shares and it yanks 2, 3 points, do you realize even with the spreads in the way, you just made 2.5 points on 300 shares? Do you realize how fast that is? And that's what, with 15, 20,000 buying power, every 100 shares is 6,600, right? So 250 shares is what? 13,000, 15,000 buying power. You slam it down two with 200 shares, you get 400 bucks and you're done. You're done. You don't talk anymore. You're done. Now, was it too easy for you to make that money? Right. It was, but it doesn't mean, it just means that you're learning. You're becoming better now. You could have took 100 shares and just got in there. Now, let's just say you like to trade with 300, but you took 100. So what? You still made 250 bucks in a blink. You made $250 in 90 seconds. Now, let's just say the trade was going against you. You still kept your 100. So it starts to pop a little bit. Okay? So here it is. Now, where's the topping? Well, in my world, when I day trade, I'm looking at, that's my topping. And it kind of gave me a clear double topping in pre-market, that this was your topping. So what does that tell me? That's my risk. That is my risk. All right. So if it pops at 69 and it starts and it consolidates and pulls again, I can add to that. My stop has to be at least 69.55, all right, or 70. If it gets above 70, I'll wait for it. I will get out, take the hit, get out, let it settle. What does let it settle mean? Let it settle means it starts to pull, finally starts to break, lower lows set in, boom, it's settling now. Now I can reshort it with bigger size because I can see it's going to pull. Okay, so what was my limit? Okay, my ad was 69. So at 300 shares, 400 shares, my ad would have been another 100 here. My average would have probably been down here, wouldn't have been up here. My stops would have probably been most likely at 70 mentally. I would have got out, thought, damn, and I screwed up. That will cost me 800, 750, $800. And then I have to spend the rest of the day making that money, or I revisit the trade. And then when it yanks, I can go 500 shares with roughly 35,000 buying power, and I can yank it. Or I can wait, let it find the bottom, which in this case I called at 60, and I said long the stock. It'll rebound right back up. 60 was too low. It came down too far. And look at it now. I could have made my money up. 250 shares, 4 points. I would have made $1,000, even if I lost here. Okay? So I don't sit here and watch a stock go up, 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 and then, okay, and then up, up, up. I'm down 2,000. I'm up down 3,000. I'm down 4,000. What should I do? I mean, what are you doing? You absolutely have no discipline. Just like this B of A call. I'm telling you, it's going to take out high today. I walk in the room, and every day I walk back in the room on a break, the first thing I'm telling you is finding you a trade that you can make money while I'm talking. And yet 99.9% of you in the room won't take that trade. And then you'll look at it 3 points later going, damn, is it too late to get in? You have to ask yourself a couple questions. Are you here to make money? Because this isn't a place to be your friend. I mean, you can go to a lot of other rooms. They even tell you, like, even if you don't make any money in the room, we can be your friend. And you could pay us to be surrounded by us, and we could talk to you like a friend as long as you pay us monthly. Okay, I don't do that. The whole purpose of this room is to make you money. It doesn't matter what time of the day. And if I walk in from a break, my first job is to find you a few trades so you can make money. But if you don't pull the trigger, who's going to do it for you? I'm looking at the stock at 186.50 saying, hey, here's the flag breakout. See it? That's your long. Traders, I would long this and go to 190 while I'm talking to you. 99.9% of you won't take the trade because there's something inside you that goes, you're wrong. You are so wrong. I won't risk $50 because you're wrong. Well, how am I wrong? And then when I'm right and it goes up 2.5, that's when you'll go in there. And you know what you'll say? Oh, I don't have sound. I didn't hear you say that. Oh, I was in something else. You know, I had to step away. You're looking for that excuse. Anything to avoid you feeling like, damn, I should have just took that. Okay? If you had taken 100 shares, guess what? You made $250. Do you realize that? If you took 100 right there, you made 200, 250. If you put 200, you made 400. If you didn't make money all morning, you could have just pulled the trigger. Okay? Why is that simple for a guy like me? Because I'm a professional day trader. I can spot out breakouts, spot out plays. I know how to ease into them. And if, let's just say, the trade went up, right? So it was going up. A lot of people like to add into the move. That's great. I don't necessarily do that because here's my personal thing. And anybody could disagree, which is fine. But if I'm throwing 186.62 market order fill or 160.86.85 and it pops and I add another 100, okay, so now my average is 187.11. I get irritated at that. I like owning it down here. And my job is, this is just a trade. This is just another trade. It's not like the holy trade of trades. It's just a quick scalp for a couple $100 to add to so I can get some groceries with this money. You know? You see that's the purpose of the trade, right? Or to make it a little extra buck to add to my daily money that I make. But most important is, let's just say you took this trade and for whatever reason you wanted to short it. Because you think you're wrong, AJ. You're so wrong. That's not going to go to 190. It's going to come down because I know more than you. Okay, first of all, you don't need to be in here. You could go teach another room how great you are. But let's just say you started trying to short that. At what point do you stop trying to short it? To some of you, add. Okay, I'm out. I lost like $1,200. Why? I don't know. I don't respect my money. Okay, you can't do that. If you're down a point and a half, you should be smart enough to get out of that trade. Just like this isn't working. I'll revisit it once I see it break down. And if you think this is going to break down at this breakout, then you're not understanding charting. You're not understanding momentum. You have no clue. At what point is your short? There is none. To me, it takes out high of the day. I hit 190, 189.85. That's my short. Because then I'm kind of going almost parabolic vertical. I can get that pop up there, short it, 100, 150 shares, yank it, a point, point and a quarter, boom, slam $200 in my bank account on a nice scalp trade. You see this? You see how it went right here? You see how it went parabolic? It goes whoop, 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 and then you see this topping. That's topping. That's your short right there. Not there, there, right? There. Your short is at 183. Not there at 183.20. You want to confirm it's going to come down, right? Then you go here, 200 shares. Your stop is there. See that trade right there? That's your stop. Because if it breaks out over that, it's going to go higher. If it's topping, pushes down, short it there at 188, stops at 188.20. So let's just say you did 250 shares. Your risk is 50 cents. I mean, $50, because that's your risk. Your reward is 50 cents to $1. Oh, yanks, almost $1. You can cover here, here, or here, or here, or here. And don't be bothered by the dollar amount that you're making. A lot of you get really irritated that, I wanted to make more. But what's interesting, I find a lot of traders, because I used to do this too, which is a very bad habit. I would literally let my losers just keep adding. And then I would trade on hope. Well, maybe it'll come down. When I was a youngster, I used to do that. Well, maybe maybe I'll get, maybe it'll come down. Traders, you can't trade maybe. Those days are done. In other rooms, yeah, go talk to them. Maybe they can say, well, maybe it'll come down. We can't trade on maybe. We got to trade on, like, this is going to do this. Okay. So when things are going against you, all right, and you feel like, hey, is this going to top off? Just double check. It takes you 2 seconds. AJ, is this topping here? I agree with you. I do think it is. No, I think it's going to break out. I'd be very cautious. I think it grinds. I don't think you'll really get the trade you're looking for, but I would get a breakout if it gets above, let's say, 186.50, and then take it for a point to 2 points to the upside. That's how I would trade it. On the VOC, I would say, AJ, is this bottom? You know what? I like it. It looks to me like bottom. What I would do is take some at 60. I would put stops at 59, and then I'd put 59, and then I would have a 1 point risk. Now, a lot of you have to say to yourself, when I say to you a 1 point risk, okay, when I say 1 point risk, that's exactly what I'm saying. 1 point risk. All right. So if I'm saying 1 point risk, that means if you're putting 200 shares in, the most I'm willing to lose is $200. And I'm disciplined to that, which you have to be. You can't change your stance on that, right? Then when the stock starts to show you it's getting ready to break out, you can always put your 200 shares in and get your money back and then start profiting. So in this instance, let's just say, where would my long be? Okay, pulls, looks like, see, right here, I'm good with 60. It's already come down 7 points, though. So to me, like 60 looks like a very good area to get a starter in. My stops are going to be at low of the day. So long here and low of the day. Where's my payday? When it breaks out this V right there, that's payday. See that 61.21? You break out there. Without seeing this, I'm looking to take this out. Okay? So I want you to see how I see it right here. When I see it break out here, see this breakout? Now I own it here. Look carefully. Take a snapshot of that. I own it at 60. When I see it take out 61.25, I see 61.65 and I see 62.44 topping. If I clear that, I can go up here. You see how I'm just walking it up? All right. Now, let's just say I have long 60. Where are my stops? And I scaled in. I don't have full size. I have a quarter or 3/4 or a half. I never full size. All right. How did you look at 61.25? Okay. You see how right here on this V, see this right here, this topping, this just right here. You see right there? I want to get past that to fill that just to here. Okay? So if I can get past that, I get that. If I get that, I get that. If I get that, I get that. And I walk it up. So now watch the trade, right? So here's again, I'm looking for those breakouts. There's the 60 I'm taking. My stops here. I'm looking for this V to come through here. There's your 61.25 breakout right there. Get above that, I go here. 61.62. Get above that, I get 62. Get above that, I get 62.49. I'm done with the trade. I don't need to be a hero on this. It's just a trade. And if you look how it grinded out, it pretty much did exactly what I said. I would have been out here. I would have took money on the way up. This is really important just to hear. You've got to pay yourself. And a couple of things come to mind. Nobody can clearly, unless you're AJ, nobody really can find the bottom on something. You can come pretty damn close. And in this room, we're really good. But that's the skill level of day trading. All right, just to hear. That's the skill level. The professional comes out after trading for 10 years, 12 years, 15. Where do you see the bottom? Because if you ask yourself just to hear, where do you see the bottom? And your first answer would be, I don't know. I don't trade this stock enough, and I haven't been in the business long enough to know where the bottom is. That's why I'm paying you. Where do you think the bottom is? I'm thinking the bottom is here at 60. What is your risk then if I take that trade, low of the day? Where do you think the trade would go if it starts to move up? I don't know. I think if it breaks through here, I have to take a chance on it. So I'm going to take 250 shares. If it breaks here, I can take 100 of it. Then I can work it up here to here, get out at 62.50 and be done with it. And I could take 100, 50, 100, and I walk away with the trade. And I scored 2.5 points. On 250 shares, by the time I'm done taking it, that's what, $500, right? On Boeing, if I was trading, I would have took 250 shares, 200 shares. My risk would have been here on the downside, 186, 185.75. So I was willing to risk 1 point or $250. My reward would be 1 point or 1.5 to the upside. But again, just like this trade here, what am I looking for? Look what I'm looking for. This is where pre-market high of the day. This was morning market high of the day, right? So this is the breakout now I'm looking for. So I want to, here is the consolidation. It's starting to consolidate. I want a long here, 186.50. Right there. I feel it's going to break out. Where do I want to take the stock? I want to take here, 187.67. I want to take here, 188. I break 189.8. I can hold the rest and then take out 188.81 and finish it at 189 right there. And that's exactly where it's going. So, and I would take 100 shares, 50 shares, finish the rest here. My stops would be, now once the stock starts moving, now my stops are different. Instead of being down here at 185.50 and I move up 50 cents to a point, I simply move my stops and I tell myself, okay, my stops are going to be at my entry. So if it falls below my entry, at least I made a few dollars here. If it falls below or to my entry, I don't lose anything, especially after I made this move. Okay. I'm always mentally thinking where do I want to raise the stops. So this way I don't lose money. I can keep my profits. All right. You can't keep the same stop if it moves 1.5 to the upside. You can't keep that same stop level. Why would you do that? Make sure that you pay yourself no matter how little it is, okay? Just like if you were trying to, well, I want to short the stock, okay? Well, I don't see the short, but if you choose to, you really want to, you can short it, but risk 50 cents to a dollar. So once it hits 50 cents to a dollar, get out. Don't wait to run 3 more points and keep adding. What are you seeing? And that's when you need to stop and go, AJ, I really want to short Boeing. I know you're saying long, but I'm not seeing, I think it'll come down. Then I would tell you, okay, take an eighth position, add another eighth. So now you're a quarter, right? And then add another eighth on another 50 cents and another eighth, right? Now you're a half position and your average is going to be right around here of 187.43. And if it yanks, you probably get 187. So that whole trade, you instead of going long, you shorted the move and barely you make 20 cents on what, 500 shares for $100. Where if you had taken the same position on the long side, you would have made more money. You follow me? So what I'm looking for every time I'm making a move. So let's just say right here. Okay, look carefully. Okay, here's UAL. Okay, so this is for you. Learn. Okay, where do I go long on UAL? Where's my long? Where would you be comfortable long in UAL? Can you tell me? Would you be comfortable longing at 35, 35.50, 36? Where would you long that stock? Looking at that. Would you long at 35, 35.50, or 36? Where would you long it? And see, for me, right? For me, I'm looking again. Here's that V. I'm starting to break out. So right here, I would be longing a piece. I'd start in with 200, 250. Now, what is my stop? Low of the day, 50 cents, 70 cents. So if I take 300 shares, 250 shares, I am risking 50 cents. I am risking $125, right? I'm comfortable that the stock will break out over 35.71, then take out 36. Without seeing this yet, I'm comfortable that I can take out this 35.73. I can take out this 36, and then I can hit pre-market high of 37. So I'm willing to risk $125, all right, for a move of 1.5 points. 250 shares, take the move along the way. You see how it broke out? Now, where are my stops? When it starts to pop, where do I put my stops here? If I'm at 35.70 and I took a position at what, 35.50 or 35.40 right here, my stops are going to be at 35. When I start to move 50 cents to a dollar into the money, I move my stops to my entry. So now no matter what just here, I lose no money on this trade. My stops are now moved up here because the stock is trading up here. So there's no way I'll lose any money. Now I make the next move. Now, and I'm not setting firm stops just to here. I'm just mentally. Mental is it's in my head. That's your stop, AJ. You've already made money on this move. Take some more up here for another 50 cents. Take some more up here for another 50 cents. So each move, I'm making 50 cents on each move, right? 50, 50, 50. If I have 250 shares, I sell 100, I sell 50, I sell the last 100. And by the time I'm done with the trade, I make roughly 275, $300. Now imagine doing that and then doing Boeing, just that trade over there. Boeing, that's what, 350, 400 plus this one of through 275, 300. That's $680 on 2 trades. And if you had taken Novak, the short, and even 150, which is a quarter or an eighth of your position, and it pulled 2.5, you scored $400. Your risk was already right there at 69. So your risk was only 1 point on 150 shares. It pulled, pulled, pulled. This trade, and Boeing, you would have scored $900 in money today. 3 simple trades. You don't have to play the penny stock. You don't have to go full size. You don't have to do anything. You could just be you. Be conservative, right? On trades like Evoke, if you can locate shorts, you have to trust my judgment on that one, purely, right? And you want to avoid chasing, all right? What was that trade? IVE. What was that trade? ICE. Ray. What was that trade? IDEX. Okay. Now, before I close out, one of the things I don't like doing, and this is really important. The move for me to long this is here with volume. Again, see, just learned. Here's the stock trading here, right? I'm comfortable on the breakout right there, 277 to 297. I won't trade that. I'm not looking, it'd be nice if it hit 310, but I don't like trading for 20 cents. All right. And you could see how the market makers really manipulated this stock. You see this? You see how they were trying to fake you out on the breakout. So even though it considerably should be a breakout, look what they do. They yank it again below the breakout. This is market makers just ripping off traders left and right, and trying to short trap. This is a pure short trap, because what they do is they're trapping you to short. They're like letting you see, oh, we're going to yank this back to gap fill, and then they rip you hard to the upside, and they basically take all the short money and then freak everyone out, which is causing a squeeze for everyone to get out. Okay? So on trades like this, for me, right, if I was to trade this, I'd be looking at this breakout here, right? 290. If I can get above this, I'm good to go. So right here, I probably would have been long at 290 with stops of 280 or 275. I would have risked 15 cents on 1,000 shares, or $150 on 1,000 shares for a move. I'm thinking maybe I can get 30 cents to 50 cents. I'm not thinking dollars. I'm just thinking maybe 30 cents. I'd be happy with 25 cents. And then bam, it starts to move. $3. Now I'm up 100 from 290. Pops again. Okay, right here, I'm probably going to take half, 500 shares at 308, 310. Then I'll take the rest around probably on this push here at 330, 340. Meanwhile, my stops now mentally move up to 3 to 310. I'm moving them up to protect my profit. So I tell myself, I don't need to risk now 275. I'm going to now just risk my entry and just hold it up and let it push out. Every time I take a trade, I'm calculating 2 things. How much can I afford to lose, and how much am I willing to take on the win? And I do it in that order. All right? How much am I willing to lose if I'm wrong, and how much am I willing to take if I'm right? That's discipline. All right? And you stick to that every day. You don't change that. Because the minute you start changing that, that's when you and you break your rules, you start to lose your account value. You keep losing money, and then you're chasing it and chasing it and chasing it. And then you start trading in hope. And hope isn't going to pay bills. So every day you're day trading and you're taking a setup, say to yourself, this is my willing to risk. This is going to be my reward. So with that risk, I'm willing to trade this many shares. But don't sit there and so okay, like on Evoke. Okay, again, you see how I'm not going to buy Evoke unless it breaks through high of the day with volume. If I can get through high of the day on the push, I can get another 50 cents to dollar. In the end, this should be a short and nothing more. But in case a bunch of, newbies buy it up or short sellers squeeze it more, I could probably get an extra 50 cents above the 5. But my mindset isn't longing this stock for a move to 10. It's not going to happen. This is a pop and drop. So how do you scale in short if you had shares to short? All right. Again, it's the art of scaling in. So on this particular move, AJ, it didn't break the 5 like you said. It didn't push through. What do I do now, AJ? Well, I think it'll come down now. So here's your short right there, here and here. Once the lower low set in, starts to break, put your short right there. How many shares, AJ? Well, on something like this, I would go half size and I would risk 20 cents. So if your half size is 500 shares, you're risking $100 to make 50 cents to $1. So on 500 shares, your risk is 20 cents, which is high of the day, and no more than that, right? High of the day, $100 loss. Once you start getting paid, though, is down here. So once you make 50, 40, 50 cents, you pay yourself 250 shares, okay? You move your stops 30 cents into the money, and then you let the rest ride based off what the notes tell you. Once you clear a point, you're done with the trade. You see how simple that was? You didn't need to full size. Now, as you do these every day, day in and day out, day in and day out, which is what this room provides, we will always find you trades like that. Every single day, every day I will find you that. That's how Jay makes his living. All right? It's how he makes 1,000 a day, every day, sometimes 1,500, sometimes 1,800, sometimes 2,000. He just waits for the setup, sets his stops, scales in his position. He doesn't full size anything, and then he just takes money on the way down, moves his stops, clears his position. Once he makes 50 cents to a dollar in the money, he's out of the trade. And anyone can do this as long as you have shorts available. Anybody can do this in the room, right? And you set your stops firm. Once you start in, and don't worry, well, I missed this huge move. It's an all-day fader. Who cares? It's an all-day fader. All day means it's all day going to come down because the news doesn't justify the move to the upside. So don't worry. Plus, you have HC Stupid Right telling you it's worth more than what it's worth, and it's not. You had everything going for you on this trade to short. You just had to get in there and execute. Set your stops. So if I'm going to go 1,000 shares on this trade, click, I go like this, right? If I was taking this trade, I just go to my active trader. I go like this. I edit it. I put 1,000 shares in, right? Confirm and send. Send. You see this? This is rejected, right? I didn't see any shorts available. I don't think there were shorts available at TD. I could be wrong. Okay? So if I was doing that, right? But I would be 1,000 shares. My risk would be $200 on that trade. And then as it comes down, 40, 50 cents, I clear 500 shares, move my stops down 30, 40 cents into the money, and let the other 500 ride down. If I can clear a point on the rest, I make over what, $750, $800 on the trade. But my whole risk on the trade was $200. And how did I know that? Because I looked at the notes, I understood the news, and the news was clear. ebook, an offering to follow. Do not buy this unless it pops through 5. Otherwise, it's a small pop, lower low set in, and the stock will fade to 3.25 before the end of the day. This is nothing more than a pop and fade. There you go. It was already spelled out for you. So all you do, you just execute. Didn't go through 5, lower low set in, scale in, build a position, set my stops. If it goes over that, get out of the trade, take the $200 hit, $100 hit, we'll revisit it. When it starts to break down, I'll come back at it. Other than that, if it starts to do what I want, I'll take 500 on 50 cents. I'll take the other 500 on the full dollar. I walk away with 750 bucks. I'm good with the trade. I didn't have to go for a home run. I didn't have to do 2,000 shares. Meanwhile, I could go work on another trade, maybe get Navak for 100 shares with 6,500 buying power, 68, take 100 shares here, pull it down 2-3 points. I get 300 bucks. I match my 700. I make $1,000 on these two trades with 5,000 buying power here and $6,700 buying power here. Total buying power less than 12,000 between the two trades. I make $1,000. And all those that are working with cash accounts, stop. Stop it. Get margin money. That's the essence of day trading. Use margin. A lot of you are like so fixated. No, margin can get you in trouble. Margin can do it. Maybe if you're not taught how to use it the proper way. But in our world, if you only have $2,000 to work with, you can't short $1,000. If you have margin money and 6 times buying power or 5 times buying power, now you can short 500 to 1,000 shares to reward yourself. Imagine today if you only had $1,000 in the bank and you took this trade and you had margin money. Now, if you didn't have it, you were doing cash, $1,000 could only give you, I think, 250 shares, right? So the most you could have made on your 1,000 is 250 bucks, correct? Right? But if you had it 6 times or 5 times buying power, okay, so that would have gave you 1,000. That would have gave you 5,000 or 6,000 buying power. Now, margin subjects those with small accounts. What margin subjects those? No, not on these F1s, Tones. We're so used to the TD rules, but these F1s out there, and these other ones, no, they're 6 to 1. They'll give it to you. They don't care, you know. So, but again, you don't have to go in with 1,000. You can go in 500 shares. It's nothing. Okay. So anyway, I can go on and on and on and on and on. But what you have to do, traders, is keep studying. Look at the notes. See how they're written. Right? What is it I'm looking for? Right? Is this going to pop? Is this going to pop and fade? Is this going to be a fader all day? All right? Is this going to be a long to the upside? Can I make 2 or 3 points? Every trade I tried to give you has a gap. And with that gap gives you a reason. And with that reason, I can make you money on that 50 cents, on that dollar move. Imagine just taking 250 shares on a $1 move. You make $250. 250 times 5 is $12.50 a week, right? $12.50 a week times 4 is basically 5 G's a month. Part-timer making 5 grand. You go to your job, you make 3 or 4 a month, maybe 5. Now you double your money by just simply being conservative. You're not here to hit the home run. You're not here to do anything. You're just here to just give me a $250 play. If I can do 100 shares, make 2 points, I'm happy. I can walk away, go to work. I'm good. How would you have done that? You simply would have came in this morning. I'm going to trade Navak, traders. I'm going short Navak. There's no way this will hold. I'm going to short it. Bam. Traders, I'm short. 67.27 average. It just slammed. I covered. It's 63. I'm up 400. Did you take the trade? No. I didn't think you would do that. See, that's your famous words. For a lot of you, that is your famous words. I didn't think I would do that. I'm sorry, am I paying you? or are you paying me? Because I ain't paying you for your opinion, but you're certainly paying good money to be in here. So why don't you take my opinion to gold and trust me with my call? All right? That's it. And that trade played 7 points. And now Jay is up $1,700 today. Let me tell you something. When Jay started here a year ago, he's an annual. When he started here, it was a process, just like it is for a lot of you. When the great Tone ATL started here years ago, it was a process. Great Noel, it was a process. But once you understand and you get that confidence and you can see the move with me, that's when you start really becoming a trader. That's when consistency comes in. That's when you become the Jays, the Tones, the Noels. You're not that. If you just started today, you're 3 to 6 months away from that. You just have to study. Okay? That's today's webinar.